LaDainian Tomlinson made it big in the NFL, and like any good son, he bought his mom a big house in Fort Worth.
You know, I owe my life to my mom. If it weren't for her, there's no LaDainian Tomlinson. Point blank.
This was your daddy's.
LT even pays the Homeowners Association dues, but when a monthly HOA payment fell through the cracks, things got nasty.
I've never been treated quite like that before.
Lorianne Tomlinson says she paid what was owed, plus late fees, but the penalties kept adding up.
Next time I looked up, it was $400.
Somehow there was a mix-up with the paperwork, and there continued to be late fees month after month, and we paid them.
So we went down to the bookkeeper together. He wrote a check. He said, I want a receipt.
An estimated 4 million Texans live under a homeowners association. Now, HOAs can impose strict regulations on how high your fence can be, the type of landscaping you put in, even the number of cars parked in the driveway.
Lorianne's neighbor is in a similar fight. The HOA is suing him to remove this van from his driveway. The neighbor has provided documents showing his wife needs the van for medical reasons. The HOA says it's an eyesore and gave CBS 11 this statement, which reads, "Every homeowner gets a copy of the rules, and therefore every homeowner knows the rules before they move into Riverbend Estates."
It's just unfair for people to get treated like this that are really homeowners.
Critics like Sherry Terry call it an abuse of power. The Southlake resident is on the board of Texas Homeowners Association for Reform.
You're basically giving up your right to your home.
Nancy Ruderman, who lives in Plano, agrees. Her HOA slapped her with a $25 fine for not removing the grass in the cracks of her driveway. That dispute escalated with a barrage of late fees.
Not only was I getting a $25 a month late fee, every other week I was getting $35 collection fee.
When the fines and attorney fees finally reached more than $1,500, Nancy's HOA placed a lien on her home and threatened to foreclose.
It makes me upset to think that in this instant, over something as frivolous as grass growing in the crack of the driveway, the HOA can take your home.
After our interview with Nancy, all fees and fines were suddenly dropped, and Ruderman says the two sides have come to an agreement. Marta Gore has a different opinion. Gore says HOAs increase the value of homes by maintaining neighborhood parks, lakes, and other common areas. The McKinney resident is with the Texas Community Association Advocates, an organization that represents hundreds of HOAs in Texas.
Why do I need to belong to one?
Because you know that in 20 years or in 2 years or whenever you're going to leave, it's going to look the same way that it did when you moved in and you thought this is beautiful.
Despite those positives, State Senator Royce West says he kept hearing too many negatives.
There was a number of abuses concerning assessments, concerning having open meetings, getting access to records.
West and fellow lawmakers passed several laws in January that make it more difficult for HOAs to put liens on homes. They give neighbors open access to meetings and records and more freedom to change the exteriors of their houses. Sherry Terry says it's a good start, but the laws are missing one key factor: accountability.
Some of the problems with the laws is there's no consequences. There's no fines that go to those board members.
Terry says until HOAs are punished for their abuses, Texans like Lorianne Tomlinson will never fully realize the meaning of home sweet home.
We're happy with living here, and we don't want any problems.
Jay Gormley, CBS 11 News.
Those new laws that Jay mentioned also require HOAs to go through a judge if they want to force foreclosure on homeowners who might be behind on their payments.